championship game. We're going to spend a good amount of time going over that game here on the show, and then we'll go over the college basketball and NBA basketball card. I want to thank everyone who's been part of this journey with us. It's been the craziest college football season in the history of college football. Less games than we normally see, and the longest season we've ever seen. So, I think I'd rather have the longer season and less games, personally, than the other way around. But I also would like to see the fans in the stands, because I do think that we saw how much that affects games and how much it affects teams and what kind of impact that has on the game. And really what makes college football what it is. Most people know college football is my game. It's like I might not have had the best record this year in college football, but it's my game. I grew up watching college football in the stands of the Orange Bowl, 120-degree heat. Our team wasn't very good back then. And, but that was where I, why I am here today, talking to you guys. It was those days, as a kid sitting in the Orange Bowl watching Barry Switzer and the Sooners hang a half 100 on us by halftime. But anyways, so it's always a big day. Today's our 14th college football national championship that I've got to cover on my websites. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the crew that we have now and what we're doing now. And this, while I've had 14 seasons online covering college football, this one was special. This one was different, and this was the best one for me. I think this is the second time for me, a third time, right? This is the third time that I built something online, and of all the things I built online, this is the one I'm most proud of. So super excited about it, and I think we are just getting started. Most people, they start a business, start a brand, start something, and all of a sudden it gets shut down for 5 months. They don't come back. We thrived on the bounce. Bigger and better than anything I've ever done. The numbers say it, that this is the one that the audience likes the best. That's what the numbers say, that this project is twice as big as the company I left behind in 5 months. That's crazy, and it's all because of you guys and these guys and everybody else behind the scenes that you guys don't see, and the people that are still joining us. We have Payne and Brad will be starting their MMA show this week. We have a new golf person as well. We'll be adding a golf show. I'm doing the golf show with Hans, and that's going to be pretty exciting. I know there's a lot of golf bettors out there. I'd like to add a tennis betting show with Liam, but this kid, I don't know, all talk and no action as far as that goes. Chris will tell you about that. But anyways, I still got Romanelli's name up here. I miss that kid. Brian, National Championship Day, what have you got for everyone?
Well, 3-2 day yesterday, but I'm not too proud of it because I didn't do well in the NFL. But
you taking a pass on the National Championship game?
Not a chance. Coming in ranked number 1 on the site, college football. I have my championship investment for $30 at pickdogs.com. Also have a college basketball loaded in, and after the show, I should be able to find an NBA and load it up. So that's what I got so far.
Chris?
Well, for me, in the process of uploading my national championship pick, but right now up on the website I have my Monday Money Machine for college hoops. Another college basketball winning day yesterday. So I got that one game that I think is going to put cash in your pocket tonight for $25, or you can get it as part of my multi-sport Monday 3-pack, where I have that pick along with 2 NBA games that I really love today. I got that over for $34.95 over at pickdogsportschatplace.com premium.
Rod, what do you got?
Nothing, because he's on mute.
If you have picks of your own, leave those in the comments section, not in the chat. Put those in the comments. This way you have them. They're accountable. You can come back and say, I told you, But it's like if you just put it in the chat, we can't see it. So 3 days from now, we're not going to see it. But if you leave it in the comments, Rod, we can't hear you. There you go.
There we go. My bad.
Yes, it was your bad.
It was my bad. My bad. So I got to kickstart the week. I got a 5-pack. I've got 2 college basketball, 2 NBA, and, of course, the national championship. I'm not taking a pass on that one. Love the play there today.
Chris, do you have a national championship pick?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, I'm doing it now.
He's computing it. It's going in his.
It's only been out there for 11 days. So you can't figure this shit out.
That was the easiest one for me because that's.
I was struggling.
Right, that one, it's like I already had my mind made up a long time ago. So pretty much since the other game ended, right?
Yeah.
I really had issues with the card today at basketball.
I think it's a tough basketball card because I did videos on a game. There's one game that I did a video on that I already know I'm on the opposite side, So it's like that's the problem doing it, and that's why you watch the live show, is for stuff like that. Well, let's get to this national championship game, Brian. We got Alabama Crimson Tide. Nick Saban has hit the national championship game a few times undefeated, but he's only run the table once at Alabama. That was that A.J. McCarron team with Eddie Lacy. That's his only undefeated national championship team he's had at Alabama. Doesn't have this sort of record to tote around with them. He just has a lot of rings, but those undefeated seasons, those are the ones that separate the greatest of all time teams from the good teams. If you're an undefeated, if you want to be in the discussion for the greatest college football team of all time, you gotta run the table. Nick Saban's got a chance to do that tonight. So does Day. But the issue, of course, is it was a shortened season with no out of conference. So going to be an asterisk on this season. But both these teams, special. I think they got it right. It's like when all is said and done, and all this COVID and all these other things, and this team didn't make the playoff, and this team was in the playoff, and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, in the national championship game, as much as I don't like either of these schools, as far as from a fan perspective, they got it right. These are the two best teams, and the two teams that are playing the best football right now. Brian, what do you think?
This morning I got in on the under for a few $100 at 75.5. I see 74.5 in some spots. To me, I just think Alabama's defense comes to play tonight. I think they've heard a lot of flack. And also, Ohio State's defense is underrated. We saw what they did to Clemson. So I think we see a relatively lower scoring game. Not that I still see, again, in the mid-60s, but to me it's an under.
What's the average recruiting ranking, you think, on the players on both of these teams?
Does Ohio State beat out Alabama?
No, I'm talking about for their defensive players that, they're getting zero credit here with the 75.5 on this game. Little high.
Yeah, not really sure. I mean, sure, there's plenty of NFL talent on both sides of the ball, but you always hear Alabama's defense.
These are like some of the top defensive rated players, like Patrick Surtain Jr. It was between Miami and Alabama, so I know he was number 1 corner his year, and he's a top 5 NFL draft pick, shutdown corner, plays man. I mean, Ohio State. Look at as much as like I said, I don't like Ohio State. There's a couple bozos out there in the NFL that can certainly play that went to Ohio State. And a guy named Chase Young. They've been spitting out NFL top notch defensive linemen for a few years now. Chris, you look super concerned here. A smile and a look into the camera would be nice. What's up?
I've gone back and forth on this game, and I'm leaning towards the over in this spot. I just think that, if Ole Miss could score 48 on you and Florida could score 46, I'm sure an NFL talent-laden Ohio State team can do their fair share of damage. And I see this one getting into the 80s. I see this one being arguably one of the most entertaining national championship games in recent memory. So give me the over in this spot.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Give me the over. I think we're going to see a whole lot of points back and forth. I think it's going to be a high-scoring shootout is what we're going to get this national championship. I'm excited to see it. I like the over.
I love the under in this one, too. I'm with Brian. There's way too much talent on the defensive side of the ball in this game. We saw Alabama struggle in the second half of that game against Notre Dame to move in. They're playing a much tougher defense in this one. Ohio State, they scored 20 points on Northwestern or something. I mean, it's they're playing a lot tougher defense than they played there. I think both these defenses we've seen both these defenses be vulnerable in spots, but also make the stops when they need to. And I think that's what it is. Alabama, the first few games of the season, they had trouble getting off the field on third down. And, that all came together the second half of the Georgia game, and they've kind of been rolling since then. The last time we saw Alabama, Alabama looked like a machine up until the second half of the Notre Dame game, where the offense kind of flattened out, and the defense kind of, looked a little bit on the relaxed side as far as, for my taste as well, especially since I was laying the points in that one, and I ended up getting backdoored. The thing is that, like I said, before I led into Brian, is that, there's no crappy players on these teams. When you look at the recruiting rankings for the last 5 years, these teams are both in the top 5. That means that they have high school All-Americans across the board on both sides of the ball. And Ohio State and Alabama, just because they have the high-powered offenses, it doesn't mean they don't have them defensively. We watched the playoff game yesterday between the Saints and Bears, right? That entire Saints secondary is Ohio State guys, right? And you look across, a lot of those other playoff teams, and the entire secondary is Alabama guys, right? So there's just a ton of talent there on both sides of the ball. I think both sides will find their spots, but championships are won on running the football and playing defense. Najee Harris, right, and Sermon, these guys have torn it up. Especially the last few weeks, Sermon has taken it to a new level for himself. He's made himself millions of dollars in the last 2 games. And at Alabama, Najee Harris, I think he's the best running back in the nation. I've said it a million times. If he's on another team, he's in the Heisman discussion with these other guys. He's also on the Heisman show, and he maybe even wins it. I mean, that's how good he is. It's going to come down to running the football and playing defense. The team that wins the most football games is the one that blocks and tackles the best. And that is how football games are won and lost. You can talk about like these, plays downfield and all these other stuff, and these receivers catching these balls and all that other stuff. The quarterback doesn't have time to throw it because the blocking isn't there. The play never happens. It's rare. That's why Lamar Jackson is a rare breed, because you don't have to block as well for him, and that's why the mobile QB came into vogue. But, what we have in this game is not the, these are not the mobile QBs. These are pocket passers for the most part.
Fields can move a little bit.
He can move a little bit, but he's banged up. They're not going to want him running around out there.
Yeah, I don't see him running around too much after. I'm sure them ribs are pretty banged up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they said he fractured his ribs or something.
Rufus ribs.
He could make a case for himself if he has a spectacular game tonight.
Make himself a case for what?
Number 1 pick, maybe.
Justin Fields?
It's a super game, just looks spectacular. You never know.
Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I know.
I think you can make a case for a top 5.
I think
he's number 2.
I think the guy that makes a case for himself as a first-round pick to the Patriots is Mac Jones. I think he's the guy, and it's like he's so underrated because the things that he has to work with are so good. He has Najee, he has Don, he has he has the Heisman winner. He had Waddle. He's loaded. He's got Leatherwood playing tackle. He pretty much has the whole package there to work with. But it's not like we've seen guys with that to work with that make a mess of it. We've seen it time and time again at all levels. So, look at Carson Wentz. Anyways, I like the under in this game. And once again, I appreciate everyone that, for this college football season, all the guys that write at the site, Randy, Chris, Andrew, Brett, Ron Romanelli, and Shane, of course, who all covered college football this season. Chris, did I miss any college football guys?
Not that I can think of.
How about Daniel?
No.
Does he cover? No, I think he does basketball.
I think he's just did basketball.
All right. Well, those are the 6 guys that covered it at our websites. I thank them very much for another college football season. I used to, when I first started, College Football Place was my first website. I used to cover all the games myself. So having a team of guys to do it with me is spectacular, and it frees me up to do a lot of the other things like the videos and stuff that everybody watches. There's no way I could write articles and do videos. It would be impossible. But anyways, let's get to the NBA. We got a pretty good card here today. I don't want this show to run too long, so we're doing good on time. I'm going to try and keep the shows an hour going forward, except maybe on the weekends, a little bit longer depending. But I'm going to try and keep these shows at about an hour at the most. But we got the Knicks and the Hornets, the Grizzlies and the Cavs, the Magic and the Bucks, and the Suns and the Wizards. Got those 4 games. It's nice that the NBA said, you know what? We don't care if it's the college football national championship game. We're going right head to head with you. Normally they would take a back seat and they would have no games on a normal year. And college basketball as well. Brian?
Yeah, for me in that group of games, the Hornets are playing better basketball than they did at the beginning. And Knicks, 3 games in 4 nights. Hornets are rest of that home. I'll lay the points with Charlotte here.
You my Thunder buddy yet? No? No, not my Thunder buddy. Chris, you my Thunder.
That could be your plane ticket to Hawaii right there.
Chris, are you my Thunder buddy, Chris?
I'll always be your Thunder buddy.
No,
always.
You weren't yesterday. You were like, fuck you, like Thunder.
I like the Knicks and the Hornets to go under 212. Like Brian said, Knicks 3 games in 4 nights. I think there's going to be some tired legs here, and I think Charlotte's going to take advantage of that. But I see a low scoring game here, so give me the under in that game. And I like the Cavs laying the point against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have just been in struggle mode without Morant, and Cleveland's still playing decent enough basketball. They're worth a play here. So give me Cleveland.
For me, it's a little deceiving that Charlotte's rested. Yeah, they had a day off, but this is their 3rd game in 4 nights as well. They're exactly the same. They just, they didn't play on Sunday, but this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. Both teams are 3rd game in 4 nights. I like the Knicks here. Give me the Knicks plus the points. The Knicks have been playing great defense all year. I think they come in and keep this close. I think this is a 2-3 point game at the most. Give me the Knicks plus the points.
Bama struggled in the second. How did they not struggle in the second half of that game? How did they not struggle? They had punted like more times than they did in the second half of any game all season. They couldn't pick up first downs. They absolutely struggled.
I don't know if they struggled. They just took it easy. They just coasted.
Yeah, let's just coast in the national.
That's how some players do that stuff.
They don't. So
they were much better team than Notre Dame.
So genius. Explain this to me then. Okay, how many points did they score in the second half of the Kentucky game? So you wouldn't take it easy in the Kentucky game, but you would take it easy in the national
I'm not saying that
football playoff.
We're going to take it easy, but sometimes players, just coast.
No. So you wouldn't coast in the second half of the Kentucky game, but you would coast in the second half of the playoff game against the team that could score 60 points in the bat and of eye, because we've seen them do it. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like the people that said they're tanking it, to get the number 1 pick, and Doug Marrone has already been fired, right? Urban Meyer is looking at the Texans job, huh? Interesting. Anyways. Chris, who do you got in this grouping?
So I like the under in the Knicks and Charlotte and Cleveland laying the points against Memphis.
I mean, so we have a few. We have this guy, right? It's like, yeah, let's talk about yesterday's games. That because I don't see your picks in the comments. Okay, if you don't put your picks in the comments, this will be our new rule. Okay, it's new year, our new rule. If you post your results without putting your picks in the comment section, right? The comments, the ones that stay the whole time, then you can no longer be part of our chat. Because we don't want to hear about how you did yesterday unless you tell your picks before the game started. Because we all do that, right? We could do a pick. We could do a show. We could rename the show saying, "Well, I knew they were going to win," right? And we'll just tell the picks that we didn't give out of the teams that we knew of the games that we knew were going to win. I mean, who cares? We do not care. Save it or put it in the comments. Be accountable. In the comments. Smash the like button. Making friends today. It's Monday. Chris, did you give your picks? You done?
Yep, I did.
All right, good. Rod.
I like the Wizards in the spot. Wizards at home. I think they're going to play the Suns tight. That's too many points. Give me the Wizards plus the 6.5. Like I said, I like the Knicks plus the 6.5. They've been playing great defense on the year. We got a big battle here. Both teams, 3 games, 4 nights. I like the Knicks plus the points. And I like the Cavs at home. Give me the Cavs over the Grizzlies.
I like the Magic against the Bucks. Bucks are so freaking overrated, man. It's like, I love small market teams, like getting points. These teams have the same record. The Bucks are 1-3 on the road, 1-3 against the number on the road. I think you go with the Magic on the money line in this thing. I think they're gonna win this game. It's like taking candy from a baby. You got the Hawks and the Sixers, the Mavericks up against the Pelicans, the Blazers up against the Raptors, and the Pacers up against the Kings. I think I gave out the Pacers in my video, but I like the Kings. I'm liking the Kings a lot right now.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to take the Kings plus the points.
Yeah.
Just at a point here where it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense.
I looked at the injury list for the Kings. I just, I mean, they're a good team, a young team. I think they start turning around, but that's just too many points at home.
So too many points.
Give me the Kings.
You see the betting action on this game? You think the books are just going to say, yeah, screw the, we're only paying attention to the national championship. We're just going to get bent over on the freaking Kings game, at 10 o'clock Eastern time start. It's like, I don't think so.
I'm writing that one down.
Yeah. It's kind of, I know we took it on the Rockets yesterday. I know that, using the same philosophy. So it doesn't always work, but yeah. That's the one. If there's one that sticks out like a sore thumb, that's the sore thumb on the whole card.
Yep.
Chris, how's your thumb? Sore?
Very.
We'll do this with it, Chris. Chris, do this.
Hey.
Hey. Hit the thumbs up, Fonzie. Hit the thumbs up.
As much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna take the Hawks at home. I'm gonna lay the 6.5. I don't know who's gonna take the floor for Philadelphia tonight, and as much as Atlanta's had their issues, at least we know what we're getting with the Hawks. So I'll lay the points with Atlanta. That's the only game I like in this time slot.
It's the new year, so I haven't been through December. I really didn't work out that much, and so it's like I'm back in my workout mode and stuff. And then I'm eating. I'm down to the from Zawacki's Candy. I'm down to the stuff that's it's the pecking order, right? We all know it's the stuff that it's like this is the A list. You got the B list, the C list, the D list, and then it's like I'm not even sure what this is. Right? All right, what the hell? It's got chocolate on it. I'm gonna eat it, right? So it's like I'm at that list. So it's like do I work out and fight the good fight and get back in shape like normal, or do I just really let myself go and just see if I can maybe get myself into a size 42 pant or something? It's like
I could be your trainer.
I'm normally about a 31, so it's like if I can get into about a 42, that would be it takes some effort, but I think I can get there. How many Chipotle burritos? We don't even have one of those places, but it's like how many those a day would it take to get into? Nice.
Just got to get you on some fry later stuff, and you'll be good to go.
Deep
It won't
fried.
take long.
I don't eat enough deep fried stuff. I eat deep fried stuff like once every 4 months. And that's part of the problem. Yeah, that is an issue. It's good those jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah.
Maybe eat those on a daily basis. I'm also big
I can't eat those.
I also like potato skins.
Oh, potato skins are so good.
Mozzarella sticks for me.
Yeah, I like potato skins with just what I do with the potato skins. I just put an ungodly amount of sour cream on it, like way more. How it's got the fill like that. You kind of just almost fill the whole thing. You just you don't even.
You have to cover the whole top, right?
Yes.
It has to cover. It's got it's almost like icing on a cake. You have to ice the whole potato skin with sour cream,
or like filling on a donut. You just
or filling on a donut. Yeah, you gotta. Or like cinnamon bun, when you have the cream cheese icing on a cinnamon bun and it's overflowing everywhere.
I've never had the Cinnabon. Never had one.
Those are so good too.
Never had one.
That's why you haven't even come close to the 42 pounds.
I could do it. It's a lot of pant, but I can get there. 42s. All right, I'm gonna get back into my 31s. I just feel better. I'm probably about a 32 right now. It's like I gotta get into those 31s. I might even be 33. Who am I kidding? A lot of candy. Bittler's had a big box of candy. He sent me, then Rod. It's like double.
And another one's coming. Well, when it gets there on the boat.
It's not getting here.
It's not getting here.
My mailman's got a milk mustache.
From hell or high water, it's getting there.
It's not getting there. Rod, who did you like in this time slot? Did you say? 76ers have
the rest of the NBA?
Yeah. Oh, did we?
No, I haven't done it yet, but I'm just saying I don't want to go past the time slot or something.
No, we're at the last 4 games, right? Chris, did you do yours last 4?
Yes.
Yeah, he did his last 4. Brian did his.
Okay, for me, I'm going to take the 76ers plus the points. This Atlanta team, like I said, they started off the year good. After that, they've just looked like trash. They've not played good basketball at all after that. So as much as the 76ers, you don't know what you're going to get. I know Embiid's going to play, so at least you got one guy for sure. So give me the 76ers plus the 6.5 in that one. Definitely give me the Kings plus the points. And call me crazy, but I'm going to take the Raptors plus the points. I think the Raptors.
You crazy.
And I think they come and hang out. I don't know if they get the win, but I think they keep this game closer than the 5 points with the Blazers.
It's like we start talking about sour cream and the whole show goes to shit. Yeah, I'm on the Kings. I'm changing teams there. I also like the under in that Hawks Sixers game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points in that thing. How about that Warriors game last night against the Raptors? Whew, that was nip and tuck. Little nip and tuck action. How about the foul with 3 seconds left to go, and then they challenge it. The play stands, hits the 2. Yeah. It's like how you draw it up on the telestrator. It's like, it was beautiful. Kyle Lowry's chucking up 30-foot 3-pointers with like under a minute left to go in a tight game. It's like, what are you thinking? It's like, why does he do that? It's like Kyle Lowry takes shots like from ungodly distances early in the shot clock in key points in games more than anybody. And he hits one a month, and it's like,
I know, yeah.
It's like fool's gold for him. Anyways, so go to the college game. Not a ton on the card here today, but we have some good quality. We got SMU and Temple. We have UConn back on the court against DePaul. You know, Brian got roasted on UConn last time. We got Utah, Colorado. FAMU against South Carolina State. Romanelli with the big cash on SC State yesterday.
He sent me a text message. He's out. How about South Carolina State? I said, thank you, man.
Brian's all proud of him. I'm so proud of Ron.
Then he texted me at the end of Northern Iowa. I said, you should text Mitch about the Panthers. He said, no, I like my job.
Brian's like, I got a junior betting curmudgeon.
I like that kid. He's a good guy.
He is a good kid. The ball's on that kid. Set of stones. Indiana State against Loyola, Illinois. Northern Iowa back on the court against Bradley. Prairie View A&M against Texas Southern. And Wyoming, Boise. Brian, anything on today's college basketball card? Do it for you.
Well, I'm giving out my Bradley Northern Iowa on the drive-thru tonight, so make sure you tune in and check it out. And as far as another one, I like Wyoming plus the points at home against Boise. I just think it's just a tad too many points. I think Wyoming can keep it within 4 or 5, maybe 6 points. I just think 8.5 is too much. Even 7.5 is fine. Give me Wyoming Cowboys.
Chris Ruffalo.
Yeah. I think the two that I like here are like SMU laying the 12 against Temple. I think that's a thorough beating from SMU. We're a little bit salty after that loss to Cincinnati. And like Colorado laying the points against Utah. I know Utah's really good at home, but I just think this is a very good Colorado team, and I think they take advantage of the youths here. So those are my 2 picks for this one, SMU and Colorado.
Nice. Rod?
For me, I like SMU as well. I think they'll be definitely salty after their last 2 losses. So I think they come out and roll over Temple. I also like. I'm with Brian. I like Wyoming as well. I think that's just too many points. I think Wyoming can score and hang with Boise just as much as the next team. So give me Wyoming plus the 8.5.
You realize that Wyoming fired their coach last year, and it's like they have like a new coach this season. It's like a little bit of
What
fools.
does that have to do with it?
Because that 7-2 might not. Because some 7-2s at this point in the season are not the same as all 7-2s. That's what I'm saying. I don't. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't agree with your guys' picks on that one.
All right, we'll see. I'll send you pictures of Cowboys after the game's over.
That's nice, because your team allows 75 points per game, and they're playing against a team that scores 81. Against that Boise defense that allows 61 points a game. Just a 14-point differential there. Not a big deal. But
Rhinestone Cowboy.
So here's where you say it was against better competition. But here's who it was against. Fresno twice, Nebraska, Omaha, Utah Valley, Denver, Oregon State, Incarnate, Word Up, Texas Southern, Missouri Valley. That's who it was against. Allowing 70, what? How many points a game?
75.
75 points a game against that. And now you're playing against this. You're going to give up 170. It's like, you're a dead man. Dead man. There's a little quick capping for you guys. It's like,
I mean, the Cowboys are 7-0 against teams with winning records against the spread, so I'm not too worried about it. They step up to the big boys.
yeah. What do you think? What do you think the score would be if BYU played Wyoming? I would say 98-65. Boise beat them 74-70. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
91-70.
Yeah, I'd say because got 106-54 against San Jose State. You had 87 against the next time we played San Jose State. 78, 80, 89 against New Mexico. Yeah, against that defense, high 90s. I think this is going to be high 90s to mid 70s. All right. Just throwing it out there. Not saying it's fact. Just saying it's my assessment. And, it's just my own personal assessment. Let's go to this game. Chris, I know, was looking at me funny because I was rolling my eyes.
I was looking at you. I was chuckling because I saw it.
I also like Bradley. I watched the game yesterday, and they had every chance to win that thing. It was nip and tuck the whole way. Northern Iowa hit 2 threes with about 4 minutes left to go. This was on ESPN Plus. I love that ESPN. It was not even the ESPN Plus. It was ESPN 3, right? So it was freebie, and I watched it. I was in the studio watching the game, doing videos and watching the other games, and it was nip and tuck the whole way, man. And Northern Iowa hit 2 threes with about 3 minutes left to go, and that was kind of the difference in that game. But I think Bradley knows that they let a lot of chances get away. A lot of chances. I mean,
never in doubt yesterday.
It was totally in doubt. Bradley was winning at halftime.
It was cruise.
It was not a cruise. It was nip and tuck.
Never in doubt.
It was the only game I lost in college hoops yesterday. It was nip and tuck. I
figured the books would call, the Vegas would call him up and say, "Hey guys, you better slow it down."
I'll tell you.
Bradley.
I'll tell you what was the no doubter was Indiana against Nebraska. So it's like the guy. I mean, Indiana. They're coming down the stretch. It's like they're laying. I had 7. I know it went to 6.5, but I had 7, and it was like I was laying 7, and Indiana is getting all these free throws, and it's like hitting 1 of 2, like every single time, like with the line, with them up by 5. Then finally Nebraska commits the bad foul at the end. They hit 1 of the 2 to make it 8 instead of 7, and then they miss. They throw up the 3 at the buzzer, and it was like, oh my god! It was like it was the first time like in the last 9 minutes that they were covering was right when it went off.
How about those Maryland Terps yesterday?
Got bit in the ass on that one.
That was a pretty big win for them.
Yep, they've won some big games. Did they win or did they just cover?
They outrighted.
They outrighted. I was watching it for a little while. Oh man. Anyways, Chris, is there a halftime show tonight?
I thought I saw there was.
Who do you think's the best halftime you ever saw? Like for a Super Bowl or a national championship game? Because we know the Imagine Dragons were great, for the Clemson, Alabama. But there's been better than that.
Michael Jackson for me. Look, it was good. I'm sorry, I don't. Whether you like him or not, you either love him or you hate him.
The kid, right? The kid from the Leaving Neverland was on the stage with him.
It's either you like him or hate him.
Well, I think he's talented. I think he's talented, but the whole pedophile thing is my issue there.
I agree with Rod and Michael Jackson. I mean, in my opinion, he's a despicable human being. But that was the best halftime show I've seen.
Chris, halftime watcher, or you just go to the?
Yeah, no, I am. See, I could give mine, but I think the Janet Jackson Justin Timberlake one. And not because of the wardrobe malfunction.
See, for me it was Beyonce, and when she did the halftime, I was like, she should just do all the halftimes. She should just do all of them. They should just have her every single year, every single one of them. I
mean, normally I don't watch halftime; I just turn it off. But
if you missed the Beyonce one, then you really missed something because she should just do every halftime. It was so good. It was like, you know what? They should just have her on every single halftime. It's like of every game, not just the Super Bowl, not just whatever. I had never really seen much Beyonce up until that point. And I was just like, oh my god, man, this woman's got some serious talent. It's like she should just be on every fucking halftime they ever have. It's like they should just have the committee, should just get together, eat a couple chicken wings or something, sit around and just basically just say, all right, Beyonce again. I'm good. That woman's seriously talented, man. I mean, it's like sometimes you see these people on there and you're kind of like, man, what are these guys doing, right? Like a lot of the Thanksgiving ones, I like that. But it's like you see some of these ones and it's like, oh my God, the acts that you don't see. Like that Lady Gaga, right? It's like she's like playing the piano on the halftime, and you could see her like whole body is shaking. She's just giving it all out. You know, it's like wow. You know, it's like that's freaking, you know, unbelievable. Like it or hate it, you know, it's just you gotta respect it. But my book should be Beyonce every single year.
That's how I am with my sports picks. When I'm putting them in, my sweat's pouring down my face, and I'm just going crazy. You know, my whole body's just. I put everything into my picks. I'm not a big Beyonce fan.
Me either.
You guys don't jack shit about anything. Chris, what's your parlay? You guys know nothing. If you guys have picks, put them in the comments. In the comments, so we can go over them. So you could say, you know, this was my pick or whatever. Because if not, if you're just doing it in the chat, who cares? Not me, that's for sure.
For mine, we're going to go with SMU, Colorado, and the under in the Knicks and the Hornets game.
Rod?
For me, we're going to go with give me the Wizards plus the 6.5. Give me the Knicks plus the 4.5. And give me Wyoming plus the 8.5.
I see Boise dropping this minus 6.5 at one spot.
Awesome.
Trouble.
Pound it.
For me, I'm going with the Sacramento Kings plus the points, the Hornets minus the points, and those Wyoming Cowboys plus the points for my ultra lock thank me later pick.
I think Ben Simmons has been out for the entire season, right?
Yeah, well, he has injury issues.
He also
He's
stinks.
played this year.
Oh, but he hasn't hit a jump shot, right? Yeah, if you have picks, put them in the comments below, not in the chat, because we will not be able to see them. It's like, oh my God, man. How hard is this? Yeah, we have Mark, we have like statistics where we all can see all these things. We're not a news site. We're just some guys that pick games. Fade Mitch. Here it is. Fade Mitch. I hope you faded my halftime picks yesterday for that Browns game. That would have made you a lot of money. We hit all four. Smoked them. We had Steelers minus the 7. Steelers team total over. Browns team total over. And the second half over. This is the squareopotamus for you, Brian.
I was just thinking that, but I didn't want to say it.
It was the quad square. Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. It just set up for that, though. It was just, there was no other way to go. You know, you had the favorite, the over, and both team total overs. It was as square as you could get. We hit them all. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people were like, how could you take the Steelers second half? We had a good crowd yesterday for halftime. I'll be on at halftime tonight if it's not Beyonce, the entertainment.
Beyonce.
You guys, you know shit about halftimes. Stop picking on Brian's halftime selections. He likes Imagine Dragons. Who was the guy when CeeLo came out with Madonna? Did like a prayer?
I think if I could pick anybody for a halftime show, I'd like to see Guns N' Roses or something like that.
Well, they had Slash was with, they had Slash played with Fergie. Packers,
too kid-friendly.
Packers Steelers halftime. Black Eyed Peas. Slash came out and played with them. Yeah, I believe me, I'm a halftime aficionado. Love halftime. I'm the guy, right? I'm always on at halftime. I don't think anyone else does halftime.
Mitch has his beer hat on with his. That's right, you don't drink beer. Maybe it's soda or whatever. You're ruining and wrong at halftime.
It's milkshakes. It's all right. It's just butter. It's just melted butter. My wife comes in yesterday. She's like, I have a confession to make. I ate the entire box of cookies that Rod sent us. I'm like, there's like a stick of butter in each of those things. She's like, I know.
They're so good.
She's like, I cannot lie. I ate the whole box. I don't have an air fryer. I have a convection oven. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I have a convection oven. Did we give? Where are we on the parlays? Gotta wrap this up.
I gave mine.
Rod?
I gave mine.
Oh, Brian.
I gave mine too, but I'll give it again. Kings plus the points, Hornets minus the points, and the best picked ultra like Wyoming Cowboys. Take it to the bank on the 3-game parlay.
I'll take UConn. I will take Boise, and I will take the Magic on the money line. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. for the Spread Knowledge Show. I guess it's going to be mostly NBA unless Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern and Loyola. There's some night games there that we could do. We'll do the Spread Knowledge Show at 5. We got the drive-through at 6. Who's on the drive-through tonight, Chris? Rod and Brian are both on.
Kevin Thomas is on.
The nice thing about the drive-through on when Brian's on is he goes on first, and that's when nobody's watching. It's like the drive-through, if you ever watch the traffic on the drive-through, there's always the least amount of people watching at the beginning and the most people watching at the end.
Yeah, Brian.
I like leading off. That's what I do.
I know. This way less people get to see you.
Oh, I like being a leadoff hitter. I used to do it in baseball, so.
And since Brian's batting lead off tonight, myself, Rod, Kevin Thomas. I think we just got an email from Joe D'Amico. He's going to make an appearance. And, I see JD, so it could either be Joe W or Joe D'Amico.
Or both.
Al, like Brian said, Kevin Thomas, and Tony T. It's going to be a great show tonight.
Will Beyonce be on there?
She might be between myself and Rod, and I just realized how bad that sounded as soon as it came out of my mouth.
God, this Lan Hum is a real troll. Yep, only... It's like, people are like, well, how come you didn't come on at halftime? It's like, well, I don't know. I came on at halftime. You guys gave me like 8 likes. It's like, it's a little disheartening. You see like 1,800 views, 8 likes. It was like, I don't ask for much, you know? All I want is Beyonce to play halftime for every single game. I know the logistics are crazy.
Should put up a poll.
I hear Michael Jackson on the radio. I change the channel. Like on Sirius, I play Sirius satellite radio. Like when I'm golfing and stuff, Michael Jackson comes on, I change the freaking channel. I'm done. I'm so done with that guy.
I'm done with him too. But you asked who we thought was the best halftime show, and at the time, I think he gave the best performance. I don't like him.
Shout out to Stanley, who does the timestamps for us. Shout out. I think I sent him a consensus for life or something in his shirt. If I haven't, Stanley, let me know. Hook you up again. Of course, the reason I give Beyonce her props is because she was the best halftime show in the history of sports. These guys know nothing. They're foolish. Let me tell you about these guys. Okay, this is what they do. They're on a show with me. This is how their life is going. Okay, have a great day, everyone. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow.